everybody, it's Alika Lifty, and today let's brew our Indonesia, and I'm going to affectionately call this the RG Estate Anaerobic Process Coffee. I'm so sorry, the name is on the screen that you just saw. It's very difficult, and I tried really hard. But this is a really good coffee, anaerobic process. This is one of those, this is the first Indonesian coffee that Onyx has ever offered. And this is a true expression of kind of the polarizing effect, I believe, of anaerobic process coffees. We have a coffee that tastes very much like its processing method and does not have a lot of variation outside of that. Now, I mean that to say that when you under-extract this coffee, it tastes very similar to a balanced and over-extracted cup. There's not a lot of off flavors due to the extended and intensive fermentation process. I don't think that's a bad thing. But like I said, this can be polarizing. If you are traditionally enjoying our wash process coffees, or are on this I only want to taste the terroir, this is not going to be the coffee for you. If you want something very adventurous, fruity, floral, and fun, then this is going to be something that you should really give a try. Too fine, too coarse, we've had really good cups of this coffee either way. Today, I'm going to brew this out of the Kalita Wave, but you're going to get very similar results out of a Stag X, a Hario V60, Chemex, AeroPress. It brews really easily. I've had 2-minute drain times and 5-minute drain times. I could still pick out the flavor profile of this coffee. So let's get brewing. I'm brewing with the Kalita Wave 185. I'm going to be using 20 grams of coffee, ground medium. So about what I would grind for a batch brew, something like that. This was 18 on the Baratza Encore. This is going to be about 25, 26 on the Comandante C40. Not quite as coarse as I would go for a French press. And we're going to be using 300 grams of 200-degree Fahrenheit water. So, cooler temperatures. And part of the decision for the cooler temperature today is simply because we don't need over 200-degree water to get really good cups of coffee. Now, sometimes it makes it easier to get a really good cup of coffee, and that is why I do so. But science tells us 2 different water temperatures reaching the same extraction percentage are the same. So, it doesn't matter what temperature you use. I'm gonna use 200 and this grind size. Scale is tiered, brewer is flat. First thing I'm gonna do is bloom with 50 grams of water. I missed my timer. There we go. I liked this medium coarse grind for this recipe because it ensured that my water wasn't going to channel, that it was very easy to saturate all of these grounds. So let it soak in, let it bubble. We're blooming, and I'm gonna let this bloom for 30 seconds. And at 30 seconds here, I'm gonna hit it and punch it up to 150 total. At this point, I am smelling some of those traditional Indonesian aspects, some brown sugar, a little bit of pepper. And now it's starting to become a little bit more rose-like, a little bit more floral. Here at 1 minute, let's hit it to 250. All right. We're going, we are going. And here at about 1:45, I'm gonna do my last 50-gram pour, bringing this up to 300 grams total. So this is a 1:15 ratio. If you want this a little bit more delicate, then go up to 320. Got yourself a 1:16 ratio. Although I don't know that you'll want this a little bit stronger, you could go up to 280. Here we go, 145. last 50-gram pour. All right, like I said, the flavor profile of this coffee stays pretty consistent from low to high extractions. I had 5-minute drain time first time I brewed this coffee, and I was like, wow, this is still pretty good. The notes I'm looking for in a balanced cup, I'm gonna taste fruit punch. We're going to get rose. It's gonna be winey. It's gonna be very silky in texture. This is a nice, fun cup of coffee. I really enjoyed it. I do think I would have guessed it was Indonesia. There's enough aspect in there. I think what we usually get from these peppery notes in Indonesian coffees with a little bit more development on our roast, not that this is a very well-developed roast, but because of that fermentation and our development, we get a ton of sweetness in here that turns those peppers into this bright acidity and floral characteristics. All right, we're getting our drain time. I want to drain by 3 minutes and 15 seconds, and I'm about to drip through the top of my brew bed. So, finer grind sizes with this coffee are actually going to drain a little bit faster because they won't clog that Kalita filter quite as much. Because of this coarser grind, my fast flow rate early on in my recipe is slowing my overall drain time. And so if you grind too fine, it may actually drain faster than what you hear and see described here. And that should be fine. Just taste it and see if you want to get more sweetness and extract longer, or if you like that higher acidity and that lower extraction. Like I said, fun coffee, really good range of extraction. Got one for Jason, and then one for me. Serve and enjoy.